Little House on the Prairie. Remember this show? With such an excellent cast, this was definitely a household favorite. Wondering what's become of the cast? Whether they are young or old, dead or alive? Let's find out. The casting was superb, the music was astounding, and all the characters had their own theme song. What wasn't to love?
I understand.
It's a show that teaches the importance of family and the strength it provides to weather the storms life throws at you. One aspect of it that I particularly enjoy is the relationship depicted between Pa and Laura, but it also makes you think about what kind of relationship cast members Michael Landon and Melissa Gilbert had in real life. And from what I've heard, it isn't much different than it was on the show. There was a strong father and daughter dynamic between the two. They don't do shows like this anymore, and it's sad. I was hoping for a reunion, even though I knew it would be impossible because the great Michael Landon and many other actors had passed away.
I want our own horses, Pa.
I know half fine.
But still, it doesn't take away from the fact that the cast of this 9-season show delivered one of the best television experiences of the 1970s and early 1980s, and it was primarily because of the performance of this woman. Melissa Gilbert rose to fame as a child actress, making her mark in the acting industry by starring in Little House on the Prairie as Laura Ingalls Wilder. With her adorable dimples, sparkling eyes, and unmistakable talent, Melissa quickly became one of America's sweethearts. And let's not forget that she was only 10 years old when the show first premiered. Throughout her career, Melissa has shown her versatility as an actress, appearing in various television shows, films, and stage productions.
It's all happening so suddenly. In 6 months, I'll be Laura Ingalls Wilder.
But it was something about her performance as Laura Ingalls that garnered attention, and she would go on to portray yet another girl with an optimistic take on life with her stellar performance as Anne Frank in Diary of a Little Girl. Melissa has been married 3 times and has 2 children. She is also a talented author, having published several books, including her memoir, which she coyly named Prairie Tale, a memoir. With a net worth of around $500,000, I suppose you could say that she is living a relatively comfortable life at age 58. She was close to her Little House on the Prairie co-star, Michael Landon. He was like a second father to her, and she often spoke about how much he meant to her.
I love you.
I love you too.
Michael Landon was a multi-talented performer and, much like Melissa Gilbert, first rose to fame in the 1970s when he took up the role of Charles Ingalls in Little House on the Prairie at the age of 38, but he later went on to create and star in other hit series like Highway to Heaven. Michael was a true triple threat, in front of the camera as an actor, behind the camera as a writer and director, and as a producer. Maybe taking a little inspiration from his role as Charles and his father-daughter relationship with Melissa, he went on to create and produce Father Murphy, a show centered around, you guessed it, a father figure.
Well, you just might be interested to know that the convention that your ma and I are going to is going to take place in Chicago.
He has a loving persona. He was married 3 times and has 9 wonderful children. But if you needed another reason to love him, he was also a passionate philanthropist and dedicated much of his time and resources to supporting various charitable causes. He had the money in his coffers with a net worth of over $50 million. Now for the fun part. Did you know Michael Landon was a talented musician and wrote the theme song for Little House on the Prairie? On July 1st at age 54, Landon died in California due to pancreatic cancer, with his wife at his bedside. He was buried in an intricate family mausoleum at Hillside Memorial Park Cemetery. But his legacy is engraved onto his headstone, which reads, "He seized life with joy. He gave to life generously. He leaves a legacy of love and laughter." He was a gem both in front of and behind the camera. In fact, he was one of the only people to be able to make Karen Grassle laugh. If you remember, Karen Grassle was Caroline Ingalls, Charles's wife. In the show, Ma is the glue that holds the family together. Her charming demeanor, captivating smile, and natural acting ability made her the person you would want to have on set. At only 32 years old at the time, her performance would pave the way for her future ambitions. Throughout her career, Karen has starred in numerous TV shows and films, showcasing her versatility as an actress. But with a refreshing personality, she's also made a name for herself as a talented stage performer, having appeared in numerous productions on Broadway and beyond. After her time on Little House on the Prairie, she went on to pursue theater once again, and in 2009, she also became the face of Premier Bathrooms.
I will.
She is a private person who has kept her life out of the spotlight. However, she has been married to actor and director Michael Miner since 1984, and the couple shares 1 daughter. This wonderful actress is almost 80, with her recent birthday on February the 25th. Most recently, she was seen in 2021's Not to Forget, and even before that, 2017's Lasso. She is one of the few cast members still rigorously pursuing acting. Much like her co-star Michael Landon, Karen approaches life with childlike joy despite her age. And, if you're a true fan, you'll know that Karen is known for her trademark giggle, which is a surefire way to brighten anyone's day. Much like her co-star Melissa Gilbert, she has a modest net worth of $500,000, more than enough to show for her productive time in the acting industry. However, she wasn't the only cast member with innocent and wholesome charm. Melissa Sue Anderson, aka Mary Ingalls, quickly became a fan favorite and helped make the show a huge success. She was just 9 years old when she was cast, but despite her young age, Melissa quickly proved herself a talented actress, earning critical acclaim for her performance. Her performance was so exuberant that she received an Emmy nomination for her role in 1978.
You can tell me everything. Where he lives, how he looks, if he's changed at all.
We'll tell you everything.
The shirt, the one I need him for Christmas.
She worked as an associate producer on Michael Landon's final TV project. After starring in numerous TV shows and films showcasing her versatility as an actress, she made a name for herself as a prolific voice actress, lending her voice to several animated TV shows and movies. She just turned 57 years old this past September, and, unlike her co-star, Karen is no longer very active in the industry, but you can still find her pop up occasionally in TV shows or movies, like in 2018's The Con is On. She is a recluse and spends much of her time with her family, and pursues the life she covets. But with all that free time, she is known to be a voracious reader and an avid collector of rare books. Melissa has been married to Michael Sloan since 1985, and the couple has 2 children together. But even with a reclusive lifestyle, she has successfully amassed assets with a valuation of well over $1.5 million, making her extremely affluent. Despite her changing career, her role as Mary Ingalls will always be remembered as one of her most iconic, and she remains a beloved figure among fans of Little House on the Prairie. The stories of the strong, loving Ingalls family and their neighbors are humorous or heart-wrenching, and, more often than not, a little bit of both. The show, at times, tackles some complex issues for its time, like things such as gossip, racism, child abuse, murder, and drug addiction.
I'll bet your mother knows.
What you talking about?
Nothing, just eat your lunch.
But even through the haze of sin, a sense of faith in God and messages of kindness and integrity shine through, even in the darker stories, which is why I think so many people found it so appealing. The Little House characters are so quaint yet familiar that they almost seem like your family members. If we only had more television programming of this caliber and value nowadays. The only modern show I think keeps up with the ideology of this show is Anne with an E. But I believe that people feel at home watching this show, mainly because of the perfect cast. When Charles has a heart-to-heart with his daughter Laura, you can almost feel his love radiating. The performances are so visceral, authentic, and moving, which is why I believe this is still one of the best TV shows to ever exist.